On this show, we follow the money, and when VSiN decided to launch our own store, the smart money was on Shopify. Getting the VSiN store off the ground was easier than we expected, and Shopify's templates and AI tools had us look incredible and professional from day one. Zero coding required. Shopify checkout keeps sales moving smoothly, and returning customers can complete a purchase in one click. Built-in analytics, you always know what's selling and where your customers are coming from and how to keep the momentum going. When questions come up, and they will, Shopify's AI assistant Sidekick is there with answers so you never lose momentum. You can check out the store at vsin.com/store. And if you're ready to build your own, all you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin. Again, that's shopify.com/vsin.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
What a match we have coming up tonight. What a 24-hour span it's been as well. Much more on it throughout the next 2.5 hours on this program. Right now we go out to the Progressive guest line. Anthony Dabbundo has been crushing it. He's been on this show, the network several times also. Great job, obviously, at the Ringer during this last month or so with the World Cup. Anthony, thanks for the time today here on Match Day. How are you?
I'm great. Enjoying what's been a rather cagey Spain-Portugal game thus far.
Yeah, no doubt. Still scoreless here, 68th minute. We'll keep you up to date if anything scores while Anthony is on the horn with us here. What'd you make of the last 24 hours and how we ultimately got to this point where Balogun's going to be playing?
I mean, at this point, the corruption of FIFA is more the expectation than a surprise. I have found it interesting that a lot of people who maybe are dropping into soccer every once in a while are like, oh my gosh, this is so bad or great, or this is just par for the course for FIFA. They make the rules, they make them as vague as possible so that they can kind of do whatever they want. And now it's been picked up by a lot of people who are outside of the soccer realm. And look, it's creating a huge buzz and atmosphere for tonight's match. But at this point, we just need to get the kickoff because I am tired of talking about it.
How about the Belgium side as far as the players? How much do you think they care about this? And you made a great point about it was a ridiculous penalty to begin with.
Yeah, I think most of the players, it'd be one thing if Balogun had a history or had some kind of, malice in what he did. But I think even the most steadfast Bosnian player would say that he didn't mean to do it. What happened, and it was an unfortunate incident where he trods on the guy's ankle and gets sent off. But it wasn't like it was a malicious intent. So I think the players aren't going to be going after Balogun. People are like, they need extra motivation. This is a World Cup knockout match for Belgium. I think they should be plenty motivated already. I would hope so, at least. Right. And I'd expect the same from the United States. So, it's a lot more interesting to me, I guess, like how did their game plans change? How are they planning to approach the U.S.? But I don't really think the game plan changes all that much for either team with Balogun in the lineup. I'm
glad you brought that part up of it, by the way, because you're going to hear, and I have over the last 24 hours, like, oh, this is that extra spark for Belgium now. I'm like, they're playing to go to the quarterfinals in the World Cup. Do they need extra motivation? I think making a bet based on how Belgium might react to this Balogun news, I think is a huge mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at this point, this is anybody who's watched this tournament now for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks can understand what it means to all of these players collapsing to their knees after wins and losses and putting everything they have into these contests, whether they're Cape Verde, Paraguay, or France or Germany, right? So I think, Belgium has a lot of issues, including trying to defend Flo Balogun. It's not going to be getting motivated for tonight's game.
Yes. Watch Anthony tonight on Netflix with Bill Simmons and Chris Ryan. After the game, check that out as soon as the match is over. So I've been waiting for this top 10 Belgium team to show up. And other than New Zealand, it hasn't been the case. So what do you expect from Lukaku and Belgium if they'll look like a top 10 team and live up to their FIFA rankings tonight?
Yeah, I'm just not sure they are that anymore, quite frankly. Okay. And I think that what we've seen from Belgium at this tournament, their second game, they had to play without their best player, Jeremy Doku. Romelu Lukaku has not been fit enough really to play a full 90 in any match. So they've kind of played a half with De Ketelaere, and De Ketelaere doesn't really fit in the tactical flow of how this Belgium team likes to play. So they've kind of struggled to get any kind of box productivity from their forwards in the first halves of these games. And then even in the second half, against Senegal, they had this great comeback, right? Once they take off De Bruyne and Doku. I rewatched it. I didn't feel like there was some big tactical change or some big change in the way they played. I just thought they chipped some balls into the box and a couple things fell their way. The goalie made a mistake, and all of a sudden you blinked and it was 2-2. It wasn't like, oh, wow, Belgium brought in this player and he changed the game or whatnot. Yes, Lukaku is better than De Ketelaere for what they're trying to do, but you still feel all the limitations. And I think it ultimately comes down to, the De Bruyne, Tielemans, Van Aken midfield that they rolled out against Senegal. It just doesn't have a lot of athleticism at this point in their careers. Yeah. And especially De Bruyne, like he's just not the player that he once was. So you're left with a team that can be had in transition and a team that just takes longer to move the ball up the field. So if the U.S. keys in on Doku, I really do think they have the advantage tonight.
Okay, very good. By the way, I said after that match was done, we were live on the air, and my takeaway was, I think, be careful what you wish for, but somebody here, like most of us rooting for Team USA, I did not want to play Senegal. So I thought getting Belgium was probably a break in this next match. Would you agree with that?
I would. I thought Senegal looked pretty flawed their first two games, but then they changed some things up tactically as well and made some subs and took out some players who were underperforming and looked much better defensively the last two games. Granted, Iraq was not too tough of a defensive foe to face, but they I thought would have been a tougher matchup because of one, depth, and then two, just the changes they made. I thought they were more dangerous in transition. The U.S. is going to be very comfortable letting Belgium have possession in their own half, and then once Belgium enters the U.S. half, springing certain presses to try to get to try to win the ball and then get in transition as much as possible.
What kind of a match you expect out of Pulisic tonight?
This is the opportunity for him that he really hasn't had. He had such a great game in the first half against Paraguay, but it's very easy to realize, we haven't seen much Christian Pulisic in this tournament. He wasn't really a huge factor against Bosnia. He didn't play against Australia, but I think this match is much more similar to Turkey, where you saw Pulisic's ability to get in behind, to make those darting runs, to time it up with the center backs who are playing balls, and Robinson, who plays balls in behind. There's just going to be more space for him. And Pulisic is at his best when he has freedom, when he can come short to the halfway line, pick up the ball, be an outlet, and bring it forward. And when he makes those little runs in behind and they're chipping balls over these Belgian defenders, Castagna, the right back, Meunier, the right back, whichever one they start, or potentially Mekele, the right center back, both guys, Pulisic has the edge over, I think, in individual battles. So that's a huge edge for the United States is trying to get their star man free.
Do you have a best bet on this match tonight?
So I did take USA to advance minus 108. Now it's come out a little bit. My number is 132. So if you can find better than that, I'm good to bet it. That's what my fare was coming into this match. I think the U.S., Balogun aside, has a serious coaching edge as well. Pochettino has proven that. Like, one midfield to me looks very functional. Adams, McKennie, and Tillman have all played really well. I think they've been enhanced by Pochettino's tactics and pressing and kind of like how they've approached these matches. And Rudy Garcia, the Belgian manager, I don't think they've had a lot of great solutions for how they move the ball up the field. And I think that's going to get exposed tonight.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Anthony Dabbundo, doing a great job for the Ringer, covering the World Cup. What do you think? Is there a bet to be made right now, you think, for the Golden Boot? Paulie and I were talking about this in the previous segment, and what a race this has turned into.
Yeah, it's a crazy race. If I had to make one pick, it'd probably be Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Currently, I know he's a goal behind the big three, but I really do think England's going to make the World Cup final. And really, at this point, It's all about playing the most games. So if England beats Norway, if England beats Argentina or Colombia, all of a sudden you get that extra game in there. Kane's on penalties. And look, this English attack has been really good at this tournament. They had the one bad game against Ghana, a very difficult low block. They're not going to see a Ghana-like defense again. And when teams have come out and tried to press England, when teams have come out and really played soccer against England, Croatia and Mexico the other night, you really saw England actually get forward, actually create chances. And Kane was obviously one of the main beneficiaries of that. He scored twice against Croatia, and then he scored a huge goal last night. Granted, it was a penalty, but he scored a great goal last night too. So Kane is going to be constantly getting opportunities in this tournament, and the price is much better than Mbappe or Messi. Spain's got to get through this match, but they don't really have an explosive goal scorer. You start looking around. Argentina, of course, Messi is Messi, and that's why he's the second favorite. But I wouldn't touch the two favorites.
You mentioned you like us tonight. How can we compete against Spain or France?
France is a really tough matchup for the United States. I think they are the toughest matchup in the entire tournament for the U.S. In the sense that, France will not press, will not give transition opportunities to the United States. They will just sit there and wait for the U.S. to inevitably give the ball away. And then our individual defending is not on the level, I think, to handle France. Spain is the toughest midfield matchup because of how they press, how they possess the ball. But, even watching Spain now, as I sit here and talk to you guys, I'm watching Spain. There have been holes. There are holes in this Spanish defense and transition where you could see a world where like a Robinson or a Dest or a Pulisic were to be able to find space. Now, they'd be heavy dogs to both, probably around Spain minus 300, France even bigger if they played them to advance. But, I don't think they'd be totally out of it just because I don't think there's a single team at this tournament that's just on the verge of running away with it.
Very good. Awesome stuff, Anthony. Yes. And again, you're going to be on Netflix tonight with Simmons and the crew after the match is over with breaking it all down. You can follow him on X at Anthony Dabbundo, DABBUNDO. Enjoy it. Best of luck with the bet on USA as well.
Go USA, everybody. Let's go. Let's bring it home.
Absolutely.
Get to the quarters.
Great job.
Join us here on the Progressive Guest Line.
I don't care what anybody says. The performance against Paraguay looks better every day. For us to score 4 on them, and I know they were dirty, and it was ridiculous how they played against France, but that looks better by the day, how strong we were in that performance against Paraguay.
To his point about looking better, I would say that England, looking back, their match against Croatia, looks pretty awesome right now.
Yes.
Try to do that with a bunch of teams. Up next, Win Some, Lose Some. Paulie covers a plethora of betting action from the weekend, including a 90-1 bomb that cashed yesterday.
Let me get your attention real quick, podcast listeners. I've got something for you that almost feels too good to be true. First, credit where credit's due. If you're listening to this podcast, you're already leveling up your betting game. You're riding along with our best bets and top angles. And when there's a good game on, you're getting involved with a few props and alt markets as well. There's one more layer if you really want to step things up, and that's VSiN Pro. I've mentioned it before, but things are only getting better for our pro subscribers. We just rolled out our MLB prop projections, breaking down some of the best edges across strikeouts, hits, home runs, and more. And that's on top of everything else pro subscribers already get, including public betting splits, expert picks, and betting guides across the sports calendar. If you haven't tried it yet, stop sleeping on it. You can get your first month just $9.99 or save big with promo code POD26 on the annual subscription. Hit the link in the description and start cashing in with VSiN Pro. All right, back to the show. On this show, we follow the money. And when VSiN decided to launch our own store, the smart money was on Shopify. Getting the VSiN store off the ground was easier than we expected, and Shopify's templates and AI tools had us look incredible and professional from day one. Zero coding required. Shopify checkout keeps sales moving smoothly, and returning customers can complete a purchase in one click. Built-in analytics, you always know what's selling and where your customers are coming from and how to keep the momentum going. When questions come up, and they will, Shopify's AI assistant Sidekick is there with answers so you never lose momentum. You can check out the store at vsin.com/store. And if you're ready to build your own, all you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin. Again, that's shopify.com/vsin.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah. This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
All right, 98th minute now. It's 1-0 Spain. And are they going to call it?
Come on.
They're going to call the match? They're going to give Portugal maybe one more chance here? It says +6.
Yeah, make it up as they go.
Of course.
Here we go. No idea when it ends.
Nobody in the world knows except for like 2 people.
Yes, right.
Okay, so I guess they're just going to let Portugal go down and see if they can get one more opportunity and then call it? ? I don't know. Oh, man, they're going to let them run around here.
This is why it's infuriating.
Sure.
It says 6 minutes and we're at 98. You know? It's just...
You got to be better than this. You have to be.
You're going to lose your mind if Portugal scores.
Of course I'm going to.
At that.
Okay, so now...
Is that it? There it is. They called it.
They're not going to come over and call like a penalty, are they, on this? There's no card?
celebrating.
Oh, there's a yellow card.
He was just,
There's a yellow card on Spain.
they were just celebrating, so I thought they called it.
Look at this. They have 3 guys going at the same exact time. Now they're going to come over and call a yellow card.
Oh my God, we're still going.
No, sure. Again, winner here gets a USA-Belgium winner coming up a little bit later on tonight. I just got an unbelievable tidbit, by the way, from a gentleman who works here at Circa on last night's Mexico-England match. I'll give that to you in a second. I just want to see how this match is going to unfold here. So now Portugal with a kick coming up.
Outrageous.
Now, if nothing happens here, goes out of bounds, it's got to be the match. Get a stop. Oh, header doesn't go wide left of the net.
Everything's off at DraftKings.
That's it.
There it is. Okay.
There's the match.
1-0. All right.
Spain advances, and they have yet to concede a goal in the entire tournament.
Over 600 minutes now, Luke? 600 consecutive minutes, not allowed a goal?
That is wild. And they just showed a shot of
Nailed it.
Ronaldo, and he's 41. That's it, right?
That's it. That's what he said. That's it. 8-1, 1-0.
Okay.
Hopefully we play him Friday in
good.
Inglewood.
I guess good luck scoring against them, huh?
Give me a number. What's USA Spain? Mm-hmm. Right. Can you put up a 2.5? You're right. They don't allow a goal.
Okay, so if I got Spain minus 102 today, late against Portugal.
Portugal's ranked 6th. We're 15th.
Yeah. So I don't
that?
think Spain would be $2, would they?
Well, because of the USA.
Of course, yeah. I don't think you go that high on them.
Won't allow it. I'd like to hear from a bookmaker. That would be. Yeah.
Okay, let me give you a couple things.
Yeah. This is great because I was doing the same thing last night. I could not believe the in-play price when England had a guy sent off. What it was at? Because I had the lead though still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you were betting Mexico?
No, I was betting England.
Okay.
They were $1.20 to win.
Yeah, that's right.
And they had the lead.
I used to make that mistake.
This is like the 82nd minute.
Yeah, I used to make that mistake when I knew absolutely nothing about soccer, and there would be a red card early on in the match, and I would bet the team that was at full strength. I'm like, well, they're going to, and it would never happen. I'm like, well, that I learned my lesson quickly there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a team is down, a man doesn't mean that they're going to lose the match. But this is from Patrick Everson. Does a great job, Vegas Insider. So the 3-2 win last night for England became Caesar's most bet soccer match ever. The in-play was absolutely off the charts. VP of Trading Craig Mucklow said, quote, "We anticipated Monday's USA game breaking the handle record, but the madness in Azteca tonight surpassed all the records by such an altitude that it may be broken tomorrow. It took a bonkers game, but one for the history books for both the customers and the book. When England went down 10 men, all the money was on Mexico. All of it came on Mexico."
Yep.
You said that we have Tommy?
Yes.
Very cool.
Spain plus 370 to win now. Second choice behind France.
Okay, we go out to the progressive guest line. Longtime analyst Tommy Smith joins the program now. Sir, it's a pleasure. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. What an exciting game that was. Oh,
yes.
My God. If you had your money on Spain, you were sweating for sure.
Yeah, and what do you make of the Spain side now? Because that was a grinder today. They scored late, 91st minute, I believe, to get that win. And look, I mean, the draw now against Cape Verde looks better today than when that draw took place, obviously. They were really good in their previous match. Well, they have yet to concede, Tommy. This is pretty nuts.
Yeah, I think it's about 10 hours since anybody scored a goal against them. So, but they play a very slow, deliberate type of game. I mean, there's times you'd get bored looking at them because nobody can get the ball away from them, and they keep playing it amongst themselves. I mean, the young man Lamine Yamal hasn't really hit the headlines yet. He's due a really good game. So if I was a Spanish supporter, I would be saying, yeah, the best is definitely going to come. And of course, they meet the winners of tonight's game between the US and Belgium.
How do you think that's been handled by FIFA, and what do you think of the Balogun controversy?
Oh, I think it has been handled very poorly, very strange decisions. And I mean, I'm not really going to get into it now because I didn't think it was a yellow card, but that doesn't mean anything what we think. If you get a red card, you get a red card. You get suspended, you get suspended. And I mean, people are saying, well, they did it with Ronaldo. Yeah, but first of all, Ronaldo wasn't in the finals at that time. They were in the playoffs. And what Ronaldo got was a 3-game suspension. He served 1 game of the suspension. and then they put him on probation for the 2 other games. So it's a completely different situation. Nobody seems to understand it, but hey, it happens. You got to deal with it. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it affects the game tonight, because I'd say if I was on the Belgium side, I would be coming out with fire in my face tonight.
Well, how do you think the matchup looks overall on paper? Well,
it was a pick. It's a pick 'em.
Mm-hmm.
Either team can get it. I mean, Belgium backed into this one because they were behind 2 goals in the last game, and they bring in Lukaku and he scored a goal. So then they got an extra penalty kick, and that won the game for them. It was a very dubious penalty kick. So they're there. I wouldn't think they're there on the merit. I mean, this was a great Belgium team if you went back 8 years ago, 2 World Cups. I mean, they had the golden era of Belgian football, Hazard and all those guys. They never won anything. And it would be very strange if this team who have now, I mean, Kevin De Bruyne 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago, was probably in the top 5 players on this planet. He didn't want to play in the last World Cup in Qatar, and he has gone off. He's gotten a bit older since then, but there's still a good game in him. He is the man that the US have to watch him tonight, because he's a game winner on his own.
Yeah, they can't lose him tonight on the pitch, obviously. Okay, so for 1 second here, Tommy, let's assume that USA beats Belgium tonight. And we were talking about Spain here when you popped on. They just beat Portugal 1-0, and Ronaldo was kind of doing a victory lap there. He was getting applauded by both sides and kind of enjoying the moment, because this is going to be it for him. USA's prospects against Spain would look like what, in your opinion?
I would say Spain will be 1-10 against the US. That'll be the betting on it in Europe anyhow. I mean, they haven't allowed a goal in 10 hours, and I mean, they should have won several championships. They haven't won it. I mean, their best players haven't really performed well, and I'm talking about the youngster who will celebrate his 19th birthday, Lamine Yamal, out on the right-hand side. The only thing that he does in games, guys, is if you watch the game closely today, every time he got the ball, he had 2 guys on him. That means that somebody has dropped off somewhere. And if you can find where that person has dropped off, you have an opening to go through and get a goal. That's what they did the last day. They didn't use it so well today. I mean, their centre forward didn't play well today at all. And even Cucurella coming up, Corals as I call him, coming up on the left-hand side, he didn't have a good game today. But Spain dictated the pace completely. I mean, at times I was watching here with my wife, and I said, this is as boring, because Spain were just coming with the ball slow, quick. It was almost like you were taking a dance lesson.
Yes, this has been the best World Cup of my lifetime. I cannot believe all the goals and how the superstars are performing and the great stories. Are you in favor of keeping the expanded field moving forward?
Yeah, but I'm not sure that I want to go any further. They're saying 64 the next time around. It might be good for Ireland. We might finally qualify, but that'll be another story for another day. I don't think it should be any more than this. I mean, everybody complained about it. I said, let's see. I do Grumpy Pundits with Rodney Marsh, and I said, let's see how it works out. It has worked out to perfection. I mean, this has been a fantastic World Cup. It's just so sad that this controversy over this red card has developed, and it's going to tarnish a lot of people's opinion of the World Cup, unfortunately.
Tommy, what do you make of the other 2 matches that we have tomorrow? The final 2, in fact, of the round of 16. Do you expect Argentina and Colombia to both get by those matches and then ultimately meet later in the week?
Yeah, well, I'd expect Argentina to win. That I don't question. Colombia. An awful lot of people are writing Switzerland off. I'm picking this one as a draw, which means that it'll go into added time. At 90 minutes, it'll be a draw. Because Switzerland are very good. They have a few very, very good players. I know Colombia has played out of their skin in this competition. And they were not as good in qualification in South America as they have been in the actual competition itself. I think it's going to be a very, very tough game. I can see it coming down to the wire. Might even go to penalty kicks, that one.
How about Morocco against France? Morocco's been, they got outplayed by Canada in the first half, but they were awesome in the second half, and they have been really good, I thought, throughout the entire tournament. Can Morocco be there and make it really difficult for France in that matchup?
Oh, yeah. They can. I mean, they're very sneaky, quick up front. I mean, one of the problems is against Brazil, they played the first 20 minutes. Against Scotland, they played the first 30 minutes. The other day, they didn't show up until maybe 40 minutes gone. So they're very unpredictable in terms of how they show up for these games. I mean, they have great players. They can give France a bit of trouble. But Mbappe and Olise, I think they just know how to win. And I think it's going to be very hard. Like I've said all along that France are my pick to win it all. And I'm not changing my mind now just because they're playing Morocco.
Okay, very good. Tommy, great talking to you. Thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the match coming up tonight.
Take care of yourselves, guys, okay?
Be good.
Thank you, sir.
On X, at Tommy Smith, ESPN, also Sirius XM commentator as well, longtime soccer analyst.
Did he say he makes Spain 1,000?
1 to 10? Is that what he said?
Huge favorite, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't conceded in 600 minutes.
I'll give you an idea of how big the Mexico-England match was here tonight and what that might mean if USA keeps winning. Coming up next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Countdown to kickoff, 2.5 hours away from Seattle, USA and Belgium. We go out now to the Progressive guest line. Chris the Bear Felica, kind enough to join us here on Match Day, Bear Bets Podcast, also Fox Sports. Hey, Bear, thanks for the time today. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Be a little bit better if we could have gotten to added extra time there. Had a Portugal double chance going there. Had a little draw as well. So, took a tough beat there. But, hey, these late goals like we were talking about in break, I've never seen. I think, 29 goals now have been scored after the 90th minute?
Yeah.
I think it's the number that I saw. So it's pretty incredible.
That is wild. We're going to run down, by the way, some numbers that we reached out to odds makers about Spain taking on USA if they get by Belgium tonight. Do they? Will Team USA win?
I think it's going to be an uncomfortable evening. I think that the match is priced accurately with what we've seen from both sides so far. I have not been super high on Belgium. They have looked old. They have looked lacking energy, but they still have class players like Doku and De Bruyne and Trossard. You can bring in Lukaku off the bench in a super sub type of role. And they have the most important player, I think, on the pitch if this thing does get to added extra time and to penalties in Thibaut Courtois. Like, I'm a Liverpool guy. He single-handedly won the Champions League final a couple of years ago against Liverpool. The guy in penalties is a problem. So the U.S. need to do everything that it can do, potentially try and do to keep this thing from going past the 90 and certainly into penalties.
Everyone's talking about this, this angle. Belgium's ticked off, whatever, this aggression.
Yeah.
How about the USA side and the big shot in the arm now that we get our star back? How that plays out?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's the unspoken part of this. Like, of course, you can have the Belgium pissed off now. If you need a red card, suspension, reversal to get fired up about potentially knocking out the United States in their home World Cup to get a berth in the quarterfinal to play Spain. Like what are you doing here? That's kind of like, hey, I get the amateur psychology part of it, but I think for the U.S. it certainly is an added lift because we've seen how dangerous they have been with Balogun in the middle and Pulisic on the outside, not having to move into that number 9 position. So it is a massive boost for the U.S. and I think it kind of gives them a little bit of a kick in the motivational seat per se as well.
Do you think we're going to get goals tonight? And do you think maybe the BTTS yes for both teams here is worth a bet?
Yeah, I think both teams to score is a good look. I mean, we've seen the U.S. be a little bit susceptible defensively. I know the 3 of the goals were against Turkey in that last group match, which really didn't mean anything. But they had that long run of games where they did concede a goal in international matches. So I think we're going to get that. I think Belgium will score. I think the U.S. will certainly crack that Belgium back line as well. I could 1-1 sounds like a very logical, reasonable score line for me. I did play a draw on the 3-way. I did play Kevin De Bruyne shots over 2.5. I think he's someone who they're going to have to take their chances. They're going to have to try and generate some type of offense, some type of pressure on the U.S. So I think De Bruyne over 2.5 shots. That was 145, so I let a little bit of a price there. But I think he needs to be more involved. Jeremy Doku needs to be more involved. That's going to be an interesting thing. Obviously, not seeing the lineups yet, but De Bruyne and Doku are certainly and CDK were pulled and benched in that Senegal match. And it was only after they made the changes where they actually looked a little bit more dangerous and a little bit more on the front foot. And granted, they were down 2-0 at the time as well, so they needed to be. But I'm curious to see if Belgium do make some tactical changes as well to try and create a little bit more urgency.
Let's get through here. Let's get to Friday. We would play at 3 Eastern. We reached out to 3 different bookmakers against Spain. Spain would be, one bookmaker said $5 to advance. At Circa, they said $4. Johnny Avello at DraftKings said $2.80, and Spain minus 110 in 90 minutes. What do you think of that line?
110 in 90 minutes would have to be like empty out the pockets and bring the suitcase to the counter, right? I mean, Spain hasn't allowed a goal in how long now? The players that they have in the midfield, the defense has been great. You got a keeper who has made some big saves when called upon. Oyarzabal missed a sitter today, but he's been good. Still haven't seen the best from Lamine Yamal. He's actually been pretty disappointing, but the depth that they have, you can bring in a Marino off the bench to score. Like that is a team that could handle the pace that the U.S. has on the wings. And I hope the U.S. do win tonight, because we talked about this going into the competition. Like, round of 16 was like, and Paul Carr, one of my good buddies, he put it best. Like, the round of 16 to make the golf equivalent was like par. That's what they should be at. That's where they are. That's what they've reached. Anything like winning tonight and getting to the quarterfinal, which would be the equal the furthest they've ever advanced, that would be a birdie or an eagle or exceeding expectations. And now you go against the defending Euro champion, a team with all that talent. You'll be back in the underdog role, and that would be a great thing. But I think ultimately quarters is where it ends. Should they get by Belgium? I think they should get by Belgium tonight. They're much better than I had given them credit for coming into this competition. I would love to see them get through tonight. But again, I am just so petrified of having to deal with the stoppage time or added extra time and any potentially penalty situation late tonight.
No question.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. How should we play Argentina, Egypt? And you just think there's just that Egypt can't slow them down tomorrow morning.
I don't think they can. And the one thing that would be the immediate hesitation in making a max type bet on Argentina in 90 minutes would just be, they did have that emotional game the last time out against Cape Verde in the heat in Miami. Only a few days now to bounce back from that. But again, that's a team that's really, really deep. Egypt defensively are a problem. They have injuries, conceding all over, allowing a bunch of expected goals. This feels like maybe an Argentina team total over an adjusted team total over 2.5. I'm sure you can get a really nice price on that. Argentina maybe -1 in the first half, come out, score early, take advantage, and be able to kind of sell from there. But I would have a hard time seeing Egypt hanging around this match late.
Follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Chris the Bear Felica, on the Progressive Guest Line. How about the other match? A lot of us here at the network, we've been high on Colombia, have some sort of a future on this team, and there to advance, they're $1.55 at DK, the Swiss plus 125. Any bet here?
I'd be interested in the draw or Switzerland on the double chance here. Switzerland has looked really good. Remember they allowed that late goal against Qatar in the opening match, and they completely dominated the game, and they should have won and just kind of messed with their food a little bit. All this talk about young player of the tournament as well, you're looking at the awards markets, and you see Lamine Yamal plus 140, like the super short shot. Young Hamzati from Switzerland has been the best young player in the tournament by far. He's around 7-1 or so. Brillon Bolo is scoring goals, and Doye got involved the other day. They have a good young core. And Colombia, how often can you go back to the winning 1-0, winning kind of ugly? The work rate's been through the roof. Luis Diaz has not been the player that we thought he would potentially be in this tournament. And I love his work rate, but he's missed some opportunities. I think Switzerland are in here with a chance, and I wouldn't hesitate to maybe take a little draw or a Switzerland +1, because every single Colombia match has kind of been a nail biter so far and a 1-goal margin.
Yeah. We have like 90 seconds here, but do you give the dog a chance in the other two matches we haven't talked about, Morocco against France or Norway against England?
I give Norway a chance. I do. I mean, there's a lot of familiarity there with Holland and some of the other players from the Norway squad that play in the Prem. Again, England has to bounce back from that match last night, which was an incredible atmosphere at the Elevation. That game's going to be in Miami, so how does the heat affect both teams? I give Norway a chance in that match. Morocco, I don't give much of a chance against France. France is, I think, completely different level. I'm expecting to get France, Spain in the semi on that side of the draw, and we'll see ultimately if it's England, Argentina, or maybe if Norway does continue to pull the shocker. They're better than they're the ultimate team that is better than I did give them credit for. I thought there was a chance they could finish third place in that group stage, and they have been fantastic.
Very cool. You can follow the Bear on X at Chris Felica. Join us here on the Progressive Guest Line. Love talking to you, Bear. Thanks. Enjoy the match tonight.
Absolutely. We will talk soon, guys.
There you go.
Great job.
Bear Bets Podcast, also Fox Sports, does a bang-up job. As I've said before, I'm a big Bear guy. Love him. Up next, we will dive into today's Major League Baseball card. Massive matchup on tap. Rays hosting the Yankees. I mean, you know the iceberg has been hit when the Yankees couldn't take advantage of playing the Twins. Some crazy numbers coming up next.
On this show, we follow the money, and when VSiN decided to launch our own store, the smart money was on Shopify. Getting the VSiN store off the ground was easier than we expected, and Shopify's templates and AI tools had us look incredible and professional from day one. Zero coding required. Shopify checkout keeps sales moving smoothly, and returning customers can complete a purchase in one click. Built-in analytics, you always know what's selling and where your customers are coming from and how to keep the momentum going. When questions come up, and they will, Shopify's AI assistant Sidekick is there with answers so you never lose momentum. You can check out the store at vsin.com/store. And if you're ready to build your own, all you need is the idea. Shopify handles the rest. Start your free trial at shopify.com/vsin. Shopify.com/vsin. Again, that's shopify.com/vsin.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Much more here on USA and Belgium from a betting standpoint. We go out to the Progressive Guest Line. Mike Palm is the VP of Circa Las Vegas, the Golden Gate, and the D. Maestro, thanks for the time. How popular is this match, 2 hour, or now 90 minutes actually, before kickoff from a betting standpoint here at Circa?
Well, let's not forget, Mitch, and good to talk to you guys, that on Friday, the two advance number on this game was -10 both ways at Circa. And then, of course, we had the Balogun news yesterday. And when I walked into the joint this morning to do an interview for Fox 5 here in Chicago, it had now gone to USA -130 from -110. And then we took a bet. I think I referenced to you guys, or maybe you, Paul, Friday when I saw at the Golden Gate during the first truck drawing, that there was a customer that had called and said he wanted a $750K on the USA. At that time, it was -110, and we still thought the red card would apply and Balogun wouldn't be playing. But the customer did wire the money in today, and he came in and he, in fact, made the bet for $750,000 on USA to advance, -130, win $576,923.10.
pretty strong.
Interesting
so,
that he did it on it to advance as well. Interesting.
So now you guys are going to have a much better number on Belgium, one would think, than the rest of the market. Do you guys have open arms right now to taking, I don't know, 500,000 or whatever it might be on that side?
I think to blanketly say that, Mitch, I can't, but we would need to know the customer. We know this customer. This customer has been with us for years, but certainly we're open to take a Belgium money at a number less than plus 130. We have to have some earn to it, but we certainly like to flatten out the risk we have on this game, which is, right now almost $1 million swing between America advancing and Belgium advancing.
How many people are involved in that discussion? I mean, we know one person has final say, but how many people does he kick it around and say, what do you guys think on a big bet like this?
Yeah. So Derek, myself, Jeff Benson, Chris Bennett, and Jeff Davis is always included in these conversations. So it's a group of 5.
Okay. Thank you.
How much money is in the pool overall for this match compared to other massive sporting events? I'm not going to ask if it's as big as the Super Bowl yet. Maybe if USA gets to the World Cup finale, who knows? But is it bigger than a big NFL playoff game?
We'll see by the time we end up here. It might be close, but you have to remember this, Mitch. The World Cup itself, and I know it's a month-long event, but think about the fact that we go on about the Super Bowl probably wrote $3 billion, right? Worldwide. And it's hard because of prediction markets to exactly know. Maybe it's a bigger number than that. This World Cup will write $50 billion worldwide, and it's over 20 million of it in the U.S. So just the whole scale of it. And, and I've told you guys, we've taken several bets of $500,000 or more on this event, which is a little bit shocking to me. I didn't think we would see this kind of action.
Did you crush it Friday with Argentina not being able to win in regulation?
Yeah, everybody had the parlays were not with Argentina to advance, which was a ludicrous price.
Right.
But the parlays were with Argentina to win in 90, most of them with Argentina minus a goal and a half, some even with 2.5.
Oh.
So the fact that it went past 90 was the key thing for us.
Absolutely. So now let's have a fun discussion. Let's just say it's 2-1 USA, right? So we play Spain Friday afternoon. It's going to be nothing but USA money, but then it's, what does this price close at, in your opinion, against this freight train that hasn't allowed a goal in over 600 minutes? Thank you for getting back to me. I texted you earlier. You guys would make Spain $4 to advance. Johnny Avello at DraftKings has it 280 and Spain minus 110 in 90 minutes. What do you think this would close at if this matchup would happen?
It's a really interesting question, Paul, because look, today against Portugal, I laid 108 with them today, right? Yeah. So Johnny wants to open the 3-way number about the same that they closed against Portugal. I mean, you would say, wouldn't you, that the U.S. would have been an underdog against Portugal if they played?
Yes.
So you would think the price on Spain would be a little steeper than that, maybe 125 or 130. But who knows with all the money? The thing with us, though, is the sharps will buy back, right?
Yeah.
The sharps will buy back when the market gets out of line. That's a good thing. There's bad things about booking all the sharp action, and there's good things, like Bosnia. Because the line got to be such a runaway that we needed the USA to beat Bosnia. Bosnia winning was the only bad result. So the sharps will buy back on the number. But obviously it has to do with people's positions on the USA, too. If the U.S. won this thing, it's a 7-figure loss for us too. I mean, I can't. They'd have to go through, Spain and France and whoever comes out of the other side of the bracket. But I mean, that still hangs out there as a liability as well.
Mm-hmm. What'd you make of the last 24 hours and with Balogun now being able to play?
Well, the problem is that FIFA doesn't have a proper appeals process. So I mean, would anybody be upset if the leader of their country appealed to the head of FIFA, especially if you were the host country, to review it? I mean, it was a bad red card, but the problem is there's no real appeal process to take it back. So it becomes unprecedented, and you go into all these other deals about, well, what happened here, and this guy got 2 knocked off. I heard Wayne Rooney tell a story where he got a 3-game ban in UEFA, but they told him they'd cut it down to 2 if he taught some clinic in Scotland. I mean, all the stuff that goes on in soccer. Come on, let's not pretend.
Absolutely.
It's the most corrupt sport in the world outside of maybe tennis. So, look, I'm not hateful, and I'm not rooting for Belgium for that reason.
Do you think we're going to get goals in this match tonight? I know it's been kind of popular to go over here or both teams to score.
Yeah, got really lucky with both teams to score in the Norway Brazil game with the ludicrous late penalty. How lucky was that? And to keep my Norway 6-1 semis and 30-1 future going. But I don't know. You sit there and you watch that Spain Portugal game, right? And you watch a game like that, and then you say, where will there be 3 goals? I mean, does there have to be a penalty at some point to get? The U.S. has been really good at score. I wouldn't mind betting the U.S. over a half goal in the first half. I think that's like -107 or something. They've been very good scoring in first half of games. I think in their last 15 competitive matches, and these are all against teams that qualified for this World Cup. They've scored 12 times in first half. So maybe that would be the way I would want to attack the goals angle.
Do you know if Balogun to score a goal is a very popular bet here with you guys at Circa?
Yeah, he's the shortest price. He was like this morning. I don't know what it is now. This morning when I looked, he was hovering a little less than +130 anytime goal score, but he was definitely the shortest price of the USA players we listed.
Were you here at Circa watching Mexico and England last night?
No, I was in the ICU with my father-in-law. And that was the most alive he's been since he checked into the ICU on Wednesday. I'll tell you that. He was really into that match. And it was, I guess, everything you had hoped for. I saw the videos Derek posted when Mexico scored the penalty kick from the sports book. Wilbo had sent me some videos from Stadium Swim when they scored the goal. I mean, we ran out of parking at Garage Mahal at 4:30.
Wow.
And that's with using the showroom and using all the valet. We had to use our auxiliary lots that we like to have employees park in because of such a heavy traffic for the Mexico game. I hope we get close to that tonight with USA.
Yeah, and I hope that your father-in-law continues to improve, obviously. I was talking to Ben here in the pit. He said he's been with you guys for a long time. He said last night, in his opinion, was bigger than anything he's ever seen at Circa, any sporting event. And he said when Mexico scored to make it 2-1 to get back into that match, he said at least 2 times as loud as he's seen this place ever in his entire life working for you guys.
Yeah, and we had heard from it was David Rossborough that said that the first goal against Ecuador was the loudest he'd ever heard the building. Louder than a Super Bowl. I'd say, okay, Super Bowl, but louder than a buzzer beater on the first weekend on the Thursday, Friday of March Madness, which I'd say is the loudest, right?
Yeah.
That we get. So the Mexico fans they're truly incredible and truly passionate. And I guess you can't complain that the game delivered, well, I guess from really the 35-minute mark on or 30-minute on to the 12. I was texting them all and some people. I said, we're going to get 12 minutes of added time and they're going to play 16 or 17. It's no longer Fergie time. It's Azteca time.
Yeah. You want to call your shot? Give us a prediction for the exact score tonight.
I'm going to say 2-2. And USA wins in penalty.
In PKs. Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, man. All right. It's 12-1. Go get him, kid.
All right, Maestro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate
There
it.
you go. Mike Palm.
750,000. I'm glad he did it on 2 advance and not in 90 minutes.
Yeah. How would you like to have those parlays on Argentina?
Yep. I was one of them.
To advance. Oh, you had him on the.
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? That was free money. What a job by Cape Verde. Oh, then to answer time again in extra time.
Was that better than Algeria, Austria, all things considered?
Yeah, I think because of the size,
Okay.
population.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not going to fight you on that.
Yep.
We'll recap our best bets from over the weekend and tell you what we've added for tonight. Coming up on Follow the Money, it's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.